Good evening, my dear things. Welcome back, or welcome. I'm Kasara, and this is the Cavern of Secrets, where I discuss all things horror, crimes, and much more. I hope you all are doing well and enjoyed your Thanksgiving and week. For some of you, today was back to work, which sucks. So hopefully this will help your return to the daily grind or help you unwind after work. The new subscribers, thank you so much for showing your support. You're incredible, and you make this all worth it. Trust me. I obviously have been hearing a lot about Barbarian, like many of you. People have shared it in the horror community on Twitter, and I've seen news reports about the film saying how this is the best film yet. I finally caved and gave it a watch. I was hesitant because I wasn't sure what was going to happen in this movie. I don't do well with sexual assaults in films or torture. I'm happy to report that there isn't any sexual assault shown, which I actually do much better with. But it is mentioned. So if you're like me who's hesitant to give this a watch because of that, you might be okay. Everyone is different, so it still might be triggering for some of you. There wasn't any torture depicted, just some disturbing scenes, so you don't have to worry about that if you're like me. From here, there will be spoilers, so continue at your own risk. So right off the bat, seeing Bill Skarsgård as Keith, I instantly thought he was the villain. I know, cliche, of course you're going to think that because he was Pennywise, but that's not really why. I honestly thought he was the villain because he was kind of odd and didn't know how to act around her, and I understand why. I get it. You're both strangers, you don't know, you don't want to freak her out. I get that. Uh, the thing with the wine, wanting to open it in front of her so she wasn't unsure if he spiked it with something or whatever. So it seemed like he was going a little too above and beyond to make himself seem harmless. So I wasn't sure how to take him. And then you had the basement scene, which really had me thinking this all was where it was just gonna come to where we find out that this isn't gonna be good. She's actually with some psycho. So he's in the basement, he finds that tunnel, narrow stone tunnel, and he's calling for help. She goes in, tries to see what's going on, and he says someone else is down here. I honestly thought him screaming for help was him luring Tess into that tunnel. And when he said that somebody else was down there, I honestly thought it was his partner. It was perfect, suspenseful. You weren't sure what was going to happen next. The claustrophobic scene, like, feel to it just had me at the edge of my seat. And then you have this monster mutant thing that comes into view, kills Keith, which makes everything take a weird, dark turn. At this point in the film, I thought it was going to take a cool turn, though, where it was going to be something that I had never seen before. Maybe this monster was created from some weird experiment or something nearby that broke out and is living here, or who knows. However, the screen goes black and the focus is on a new character, AJ. This is where the movie fell apart for me. It seemed like a new director and writer started their own film, then slapped the two together in a horrible way. I hated the scene on the water tower. It was so stupid how he threw Tess off of it. The way he did it, the way he talked, it all just seemed like it wasn't going to be real. It seemed too silly for it to be real. I mean, the beginning felt so strong, and then it just drifted down a horrible, silly path. I mean, you have Andre, where he says that the monster never comes here, just to be attacked right at that moment. It lacks suspense, anything new or different from other movies we've seen. It became like a B movie instead of an A-list film at this point. And I've seen some great B films, don't get me wrong, but this was not it. I don't understand the hype this film got. I've seen some far better horror movies. Justin Long isn't a bad actor, but he's more of a comedian than a serious guy, in my opinion. Take Jeepers Creepers, he was a laughable character who added comic relief throughout the film. I'd give the movie a 4 out of a 10 and a 2.5 out of a 5. I know it's harsh, but it's not that good. Not to me, anyways. To those of you who have seen this movie, what did you think of it? Let me know in the comments below. What did you think of the characters? My favorite character was Tess, but I'm not so sure she would have survived the fall from the water tower. I know the strange mutant creatures softened the fall, but it wouldn't have been enough. It's unrealistic, including the scene where Tess hits the creature and pins it against the wall of the house, yet it still could move afterwards and seemed unfazed. I don't care if it's a mutant or whatever. It's not going to be immortal, okay? I just don't understand where the hell they were going with this. Thank you so much for watching and sticking around to the end. I hope you all have a great weekend. Next week, I'll be discussing Dahmer since there has been a new interest in the killer thanks to the TV show. And I actually don't know anything about him, to be honest. I know we covered him in college, but I don't really remember anything about him. I'll also share my review of Hereditary since I realized I haven't done that yet, which is kind of weird. And I've watched it, I think, earlier this year. I don't remember when I saw it, but I know it was early on. If you don't want to miss the upcoming content, click the bell icon to be first notified of new updates. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.